6 brethren strangled at the stake on Volewijk, near Amsterdam, A.D. 1555. It occurred A.D. 1555 when the first separation took place among the Anabaptists because of Gillis of Aix-la-Chapelle and others began to introduce that to which the other brethren of Waterland could not subscribe or consent, that these brethren maintained themselves as a separate people without, however, having been separated or banished from the others, but they became a forgotten, yea, a lost people, so that the Waterland brethren, on account of the severe persecution, could not live in houses, but had to keep themselves in boats and in the field, because they knew not where to hide themselves from the constables, who were looking for them everywhere, and sought their lives. It was at this time that 6 brethren, who were together in a boat, were apprehended in the Oostzaaner field, and brought to Amsterdam, where they were sentenced to death. It was in the beginning of the winter when they were brought in the Volewijk, and all strangled at the stake. There was freezing weather for 13 weeks from this time on, and, what is remarkable, during all these 13 weeks a light like a candle stood over each stake to which the bodies of the 6 brethren were fastened, and burned all night. After the expiration of the 13 weeks, a violent storm and rain arose, and consequently a great thaw ensued, so that the water rose very high, and the ice was rent asunder by the wind. Around the body of one of the 6 brethren the water stood so high that the stake, through the force of the ice pressing against it, was broken in two and fell down upon the ice. His body drifted hither and thither on the ice, with the tide, between Sparendam and Volewijk. In that neighbourhood there were 2 persons, each in a boat, who were both novices in the church. Passing along there in the night, they saw the aforesaid light like a candle on the ice. Looking sharply, they thought it stood on Japje, mate, so they called this brother. As soon as it was daylight, they went to 2 sisters who were concealed in the city, which was known to these 2 novices. To them they related what they had seen in the night. Thereupon they suffered themselves to be barred out, and each entering a boat, they rowed to the most northern point, where they waited for the ice to come. In the meantime said light came drifting on the ice. They rowed up to it, and saw that it stood on Japje, mate. They took him into their boat, and brought him to the other brethren, who also kept themselves in a boat in the field. Footnote: the reader will bear in mind that large portions of Holland are traversed by numerous canals in place of roads. End footnote. These took the body into their own boat, but as soon as they touched it in order to take it to the place where they intended to bury it, the dried up and frozen body, which had stood at the stake for 13 weeks, waiting to be burned, burst, so that the blood flowed copiously into 2 or 3 baskets, which were at the bottom of the boat. The persons who saw all this, and did as has been stated with the body, were his chief brethren and associates, pious and credible persons, who related it to many, in order that this miracle should never be forgotten, to the edification of the pious.